You're listening to Inside the Locker Room with Wimp and Barry Sanderson on Tide 100.9 in Tuscaloosa.
What's the easiest choice you can make? Window instead of middle seat? Picking a vendor who sends a great gift basket? Outsourcing business tasks you hate? What about selling with Shopify? Whether you're selling a little or a lot, Shopify helps you do your thing, however you cha-ching. Shopify is the global commerce platform that helps you sell at every stage of your business. From the launch your online shop stage to the first real-life store stage, all the way to the did we just hit 1 million orders stage. Shopify's there to help you grow. Whether you're selling scented soap or offering outdoor outfits, Shopify helps you sell. Wherever and whatever you're selling, Shopify's got you covered. Sign up for a $1 per month trial period at shopify.com/try. Go to shopify.com/try now to grow your business, no matter what stage you're in. Shopify.com/try.
Between 50 and 53 degrees. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 35 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Inside the Locker Room with former Crimson Tide basketball coach Wimp Sanderson and his son, former SEC and ACC assistant basketball coach Barry Sanderson. It's time to take you inside the locker room on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
And good morning. Welcome into the Friday edition, the Iron Bowl edition of Inside the Locker Room, 205-342-9904. If you'd like to get in on the show with us this morning, X accounts at Locker Room 109, at Barry Sanderson, at Wimp Sanderson 1. Email, if you want to shoot us an email, wimpandbarry@yahoo.com. Download that app, that Tide 100.9 app. To your smartphone. You can send us an app message throughout the show. We'll read those over the air. So let's get some app messages coming in. I'll read those, or I'll let Chase read them. Maybe I don't read good, so we'll let Chase read them over the air, and we can respond to them. That's what the other shows do. I guess Chase is a good reader. So anyway, before we get started, it's cold outside, too, if you're going out this morning. And there's a lot of people out this morning, guys. Will y'all explain this? I don't get it. Like, can you buy today you couldn't have got?
I explained it to you.
You could have got Wednesday. Steve Shannon, who he's not here, so he must be out shopping as well. But he has reported on Facebook that Walmart was packed at 6 a.m. Now, what could you possibly want to get out at Walmart at 5 a.m. to get in line to get in there to get on Black Friday?
They trick you.
But what are you getting that you can't get?
Because they think that because it's before Christmas and that they're getting rid of all the other stuff because new stuff is coming in.
Yeah.
They use this black. What they do is they'll mark down some things, and you'll go in there and you'll buy a couple of things that are marked down a little bit, but also you'll buy some at regular price. They got you again.
Yeah, so they may mark down. Where's that TV? I saw it was going to be 50% off. Oh, we already sold that one, sir, and you're in the store already. I don't understand. So Best Buy is packed. I can tell you that firsthand. I rode right by it, and I am out of coffee, and I was going to go get me a Starbucks. I know Dad doesn't.
Oh, you're rich.
I went over there. The line was so long, I ain't got no coffee this morning. So I looked at that line. I was like, good gosh, what are these people doing? It's
Black Friday.
Yeah, so anyway, before we do any of that, let's thank Yellowwood Pressure Teeter Pine from Great Southern. Always remember, if it doesn't have that yellow tag on it, you don't want it. Go to yellowwood.com to find a dealer close to you. If anybody can explain Black Friday to me, I can go right on my phone right here and buy anything that y'all are buying over at Walmart. I can just buy it right there on Amazon. So y'all explain that one to me. Chase, maybe you could explain it to me. I'm dumb. But I don't get it. And I did see some motorhomes already in town for the big game on tomorrow. I'm supposed to tailgate. I'm watching that weather closely. It's supposed to be kind of chilly, isn't it, Chase? All right. Good morning, guys. How are y'all this morning?
We're doing okay. Several thanks for that introduction. I want to wish everybody a happy Thanksgiving. I want to thank Barry. We've had some struggles behind the scenes with with Annette, with health-wise, and Barry came and got her, and he and Jack and took her to Tuscaloosa, and we had a nice Thanksgiving dinner, and Jenny did a great job and got her away from having the routine of what she's been doing. So I thank him for that publicly and tell all you guys to be thinking about her. I also want to say that I'm really sorry and sad that Bill Battle passed away. Bill was a great player at West End. Coach Bryant signed him after he coached at the University of Tennessee, which makes you all mad, I guess. He was made a lot of money in marketing. He helped Coach Bryant make a lot of money. He and Coach Bryant were good friends, so they got to be at Tennessee. They still were friends, but, backed off a little bit. So Bill passed away. He had some problems. I don't get into that, and did a good job after that. Paul Jr. brought him here, and as I said, he has done quite well. I got, and Barry, I need to get you to find somebody. I got something, the golf lady, a big article, which I think was false, that Balthoris, or whatever that girl's name is, that married that quarterback and divorced, had died. I don't believe that's right. I called Doug Bell last night. He didn't know. So anyway, I commended
Doug Bell don't know. Nobody know.
I just don't know. So anyway, I'm going to mention the basketball, what they did in basketball, and then we'll get that in the second hour because I know it's all football right now. Memphis did beat Tulane last night, so if you bettors that bet on that game, you lost your fannies, 34-24, and today at 2:30, Ole Miss and State is on ABC. I'm not sure why, and Georgia Tech and Georgia are on at 6:30 on ABC. Auburn has won the Maui Classic. They beat Iowa State, Memphis, and North Carolina the second game, and Memphis in the finals. So they won at Maui, which is a great win for them. They're playing good in basketball. Alabama is playing well. They, of course, beat Houston, beat Rutgers. They're going to play at 11:30 tomorrow against Oregon. Should be a good game. You can watch it prior to the Alabama-Auburn football game.
I think it's at night.
Huh?
I'm going to check that. I think it's at night.
Oh, I'm sorry. Okay, I thought it was 11:30.
11:30 would be like 9:30 in the morning in Vegas.
Sorry. Okay, well, anyway, you can take a look, see. Ole Miss and State and Kentucky won last night against non-conference games. You can look at the scores of those. It's not
Alabama, they play at 8:30 at night on TNT tomorrow night.
Well, the thing had on here, which I didn't read it correct. I was trying to get as much as I could. 8:30 then, so you'll be able to watch it, and also the games, all the games will be on. So you've got a good weekend of Friday and Saturday, football and basketball, whatever you like to watch. If you want to watch it all, you can. It's hard to do a little bit. So that's about all. Naturally, let me say this to you. Barry and I, and neither are any of you that call in our show are football experts. We don't know. We know what we think, and we think about people, but we're not experts in football. And trying to figure out who's going to win a game and why a team played bad or a guy played bad is we don't have that kind of ability. It's fun to do that on a radio show, but we just don't. So I think it's interesting to see what happens. I don't know what would happen as far as, if I'm always been a believer in, I'm saying this because I believe Alabama's going to win the game. I've always been a mental guy. I've always felt like if you're ready to play mentally, if I really want to do something and I really try hard to do it over a period, I have a better chance to do it. So that's the reason that I'm picking Alabama to win the game. 11.5 point. Barry knows the exact figure. I think it's 11.5. So that is big to me. How you feel like you got to play well when you get there, but just because you want to win doesn't mean you're going to win. But you can't win if you take it easy, if you take it lightly. And the things that Auburn has said, if Alabama, and I'm not sure Alabama's paid much attention to that. So, and yes, you got to win on the field, but at the same time, none of us know what goes on behind the scenes. That's all I got.
All right. Today, a lot of games on. I didn't realize there's this many games on today. So
I just didn't tell them all.
Get your popcorn ready at 11, Chase. You got Oregon State and Boise State. So Boise State's trying to hang on to their playoff spot. Oklahoma State and Colorado will play. So you can watch Shedeur Sanders. Minnesota and Wisconsin. Miami of Ohio is taking on Bowling Green. Nobody cares about that. Ball State, Ohio. Here's an interesting game, guys. East Carolina took the interim tag off of their coach. They gave him the job. We looked at the celebration with John Gilbert. They're at home, Dad, and they are playing Navy.
Yeah.
And I think this is a trick game here. East Carolina is favored by 2.5. Navy 7-3. East Carolina 7-4. That might be a blue plate for Friday. But you think East Carolina knocks off Navy today at home over in Greenville, North Carolina?
I don't think so.
I don't either.
Navy. Now you're right. They're excited. They're excited about their new coach, and they clapped and carried on about him until they don't play a lot, and they won't clap so much. Some of them. So I think it'll be. I think it'll be a hard game.
Yeah, I just thought that was a pretty fun game to watch at 11 there, but I was surprised East Carolina was favored. Chase, are you going to watch Chase is a Mississippi State guy, Dad. He's got his little Bulldog.
ABC had the guts to put that game on TV.
That's the 2:30 game. I mean, that's part of the contract. Now, the line is 26. Now, obviously, Ole Miss is on the outside looking in, but I think they have got to impress this committee in case something crazy happens. They are going to try to kill you, Chase, today. Lane Kiffin is going to try to put 70 on Mississippi State.
You can't do it. Kicking field goals.
He ain't going to kick them. He's going to go for it. Will you watch this game today, Chase?
Yeah, I'm going to have to watch the first quarter just to see how it goes. But, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised if he tries to put 70 on
he's going,
especially in Oxford. Yeah.
He's going to try to put 70 because
they couldn't get in the final 12. They had to.
Well, he's going to do his part today. Liberty and Sam Houston, nobody cares. Utah State, Colorado State, nobody cares. Texas State at South Alabama, nobody cares.
We need to go these games twice today for the first hour and the second hour. Who cares in these matchups here? This South Carolina Clemson game is a confusing booger bear.
Yeah, well, that's tomorrow. My daughter's actually going to that one. Her husband, Chase, so you know, he went to Clemson. He is the biggest Clemson goober of all time. So my son and I, we jab him all the time. So every time Caroline goes, she went to Alabama. She was more of a Gamecock than because of me coaching in South Carolina. And every time she goes to the game with him, Clemson loses. So he stopped letting her go. Well, this year she's getting to go. So if you believe in that, put the money on the Gamecocks. And then the last game tonight on Fox, Utah is taking on Gus Malzahn. Gus Malzahn has had a rough year. He is 4-7. Is Gus Malzahn coaching days kind of over?
No, he's hanging on it. He got a big contract there, Barry. He's and he got when he got ready to leave, he got his money too when he left.
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, yeah. I mean, I'm not saying he's retiring, but 4-7, he should be better than that. Now, I'm gonna give you the break to think about it. You and Chase, because I was thinking about this on the way in this morning.
Yeah, sweet. I told y'all.
Who? Now, don't say it out loud because you got to think this one through. I'm gonna surprise you with my pick. Who should be the SEC Coach of the Year? It's a tough question. Think about it. Who should be the SEC? Because it's not a clear-cut guy to win it this year. When we get back, I want y'all to get...
Coach, I will tell you who the National Coach of the Year should be. Guy from Kansas. And they got a losing record.
I don't know about that.
Oh, he should very definitely be.
The guy at Oregon's going to get that. They're undefeated. All right, 2 minute
I know with Kansas, that guy ain't going get it.
But think about SEC Coach of the Year. Think about that. And you guys call us. Philip, I don't know if Tom still listens. You guys call and tell me who should be the SEC Coach of the Year.
Oh, you got something tricky.
No, I don't. I don't know. There is no clear cut. At first, you were saying that guy Vandy, but then they've kind of fallen off, and then obviously Alabama ain't getting it. I don't know. 2 Minute Truck, I know they're good. They're at 1330 Martin Road East. That's where you go pick up your boxes, your packing supplies, whatever you need to make this a smooth move. Moving is stressful, guys. I'm just going to be honest with you, and they will take the stress away. So give them a call today for the free estimate. 205-247-5050. 2 Minute Truck. Movers who care.
Here's what's trending on the Tuscaloosa thread.
Good Wednesday morning. Operation Iron Ruck is underway. It's a military-type march of veterans from the Auburn University campus to the University of Alabama. The goal is to bring awareness to veteran suicide. On average, 17 veterans a year commit suicide in the state of Alabama alone. The march ends Saturday at Bryant-Denny Stadium with the presentation of the Iron Bowl game ball. Click TuscaloosaThread.com for more local news, sports, and weather coverage. It's free throughout the day. Don Hartley, Telesquare Media, Tuscaloosa.
Road tripping, business travel, or bringing your car in for repairs. All great reasons to rent a Toyota at Tuscaloosa Toyota. You can rent the latest Toyota models for a day, a week, or a weekend. Every Toyota rental-car comes with 24 hours roadside assistance and is backed by an entire team of people you know and trust. Rent a Toyota and let's go places. Reserving yours is a breeze at TuscaloosaToyota.com.
365 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadways.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the road.
North and Northport, just before Carroll's Creek Baptist Church. Sponsored by Edmondson Deer Processing, Tuscaloosa Tractor, Irvin's, Hall's Feed and Seed, and Anders Hardware.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather cold and dry today, mostly sunny with a high at 48. A freeze tonight, clear with a low at 27. And for the weekend, a good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Highs between 50 and 53 degrees. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 35 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Catch every game and every moment right here. This is your home of Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back. I think everybody's asleep out there this morning, Chase. Nobody's up dialing those phones, but we want to know who should be the SEC Coach of the Year. I think there's 3 candidates. Before we get started, I want to thank Yellowwood pressure-treated pine from Great Southern Wood. If it doesn't have the yellow tag on it, you don't want it. All right, I'm going to give you mine first. I'm going to give it to Shane Beamer at South Carolina, but a close second. I mean, he is close. He is itching it out. Is Billy Napier. Billy Napier has held this thing together. He had the toughest schedule in college football. He's 4-4 in the league, so he pretty good. Alabama's only won 4 games as well, 6-5 overall. And then I guess Elko would probably be my third. If Elko knocks off Sarkisian, then maybe he deserves it. But I think Shane Beamer deserves it, with Billy Napier a close second. Dad, would you agree with those, or you got somebody different?
No, I think any of those are fine. Shane won't get it, but I think you've done an awfully good job. I like the guy at Vanderbilt. The reason I like him is because he didn't let his ego bother him. He wasn't doing very well offensively. was able to bring in, another head coach, an offensive coordinator, and a good quarterback. So I got to give the guy some credit for that. But the ones you picked are fine. I think A&M did a terrific job. It's just, I would imagine, Barry, if A&M were to beat Texas, the votes would probably come in a little bit more towards A&M. But I don't know that A&M's going to beat him. But I'm a Beamer fan. I like him a lot. So
if you're Beamer and a big job comes open, I don't know what that job would be. He seems to really like South Carolina. A lot of people think one day he'll go back to Virginia Tech, where his daddy did such a great job. I don't think Virginia Tech's a very good job now.
Oh, it's not. They have good attendance, but they have a real hard time recruiting.
Yeah, so I don't know what jobs are going to open. You think there's going to be a lot of turnover? People talking about LSU opening. I don't see that. I don't see that.
They got too much.
They owe so much money. What about Arkansas? Any chance Arkansas opens? And
I think it's close, but I don't think it's anybody to hire. I think what they're going to do with him is make him and his staff get out and raise the money that's there in Fayetteville, the Walmart money and all the other money. A lot of the money, Barry, you'd be surprised, a lot of the money went to Cal in basketball. They got beat last night. Arkansas, I think, got beat.
Yeah, Arkansas got beat by Illinois.
Yeah.
John Calipari, his schedule is so weak whenever he plays anybody, and there was people.
They took a lot of chicken money and all that money. I think that's a good question. I think he's on the borderline. Everybody likes him as a person. I don't know that he has a personality to draw in the money. Offensive coordinator who got had problems, not going to get the job, but he's awfully good, and so I don't know.
All right, let's get to the Yellowwood hotline and talk to this guy in a few days. My man Tom. What's up, Tom?
Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Ed. Good morning, Coach.
Tom,
how are you?
Did you have a good Thanksgiving yesterday?
I did. Had a really good one. Big family gathering and all that. And,
Did you talk about our show at all, Tom, with all the family?
Yeah, I do. I got a couple
Did you
of.
mention Barry, Tom, how smart he is?
Did you mention that you always agree with Dad and never agree with me? Did you ever mention that?
Well, I just talked about what a stalwart of intelligence your dad is. Everybody agrees.
What did you say about me?
I said that sometimes that I've been given a nickname of the sheriff, and I have to show my badge to you occasionally.
Okay. There you go. All right.
Y'all have a good. I want to know. Did your mother enjoy her Thanksgiving?
She did. She was all nervous about going, and I kept saying, if we could get her there, she's going to be fine.
Well, one of the things, Tom, she's not able to walk.
Right.
And it's been a real fight from behind. I had two people who text me about why I've waited so long to talk to Barry. While I'm doing the show, I'm trying to help her.
Right.
I'm doing two things at one time. Barry was nice enough.
Well, I commend you for being. I really do.
He and Jack, who are, as you know, stronger than I am, we had to get her in the car that way, and he's not going to say it, but I am. And they did a good job of getting in the car because she lost the patella in her left leg, and last fall, so it's not good. But anyway, he did that, and he did a good job. They did, and Jenny did a good job of having Thanksgiving dinner for him, and everything went great.
I'm glad to hear that, and I'm glad that she enjoyed herself, and that you did that, Barry. My hat's off to you. Great job.
I didn't do nothing, but go ahead, Tom. Go ahead.
Anyway, I was calling in about the coach of the year in the SEC. I think Lanning at Oregon's got the national thing nailed.
Yeah.
And deserves it, I think, Barry, don't you?
Yeah. If you're undefeated and this
and you traveled
across football.
I'll take the coach from Kansas.
Yeah, I heard you say that. I don't get that one, but
yeah. Thank you, Tom. You didn't agree. Thank you, Tom.
And I didn't. Well, I'll have to study that. It may be.
Yeah.
I'm a John Q fan.
Yeah.
You can't forget that part.
Yeah, but watch him, Tom, because he'll if somebody else wins, he'll say he didn't say that.
All right, who's SEC Coach of the Year, Tom?
Well, to see, Beamer is up there. I think he did an outstanding job. I like Napier.
Yeah.
But I wanted to ask y'all this. When Coach Saban, and I asked Coach Sanderson this a few weeks ago, when Coach Saban went on game day, he said, listen, let me tell you something. You need to be patient. And he pointed out the reason that Billy Napier should be retained, and it changed the tune of the Bull Gators at Florida. You've got to admit that.
Yeah.
Well, that plus their play obviously changed it the most.
Well,
And
yeah, but
Napier worked for him, too.
Well, right. And I think that he was in Billy Napier's corner to begin with. But
he's pro coach for sure.
That's another good point. I think he is, and I think he's going to always say, look, he's always maintained it, even when Gus Malzahn was fired. He had a clear thinking and a clear statement saying, I think people get rid of people too quick this day and age. That was one of his statements about Gus Malzahn being dismissed. Remember?
Yeah. Yeah.
But I wanted you to explore this thought with me. When Billy Napier was upheld by Coach Saban on national television on game day, which we all know everybody and their brothers watching because Coach Saban's on there. And he upheld Billy, and when he said that, the whole complexion of the team, the coaches, the boosters, and all like that, it changed, and they played better after that. I don't care what nobody says; it changed that team.
Yeah, you're giving Coach Saban too much credit there. I don't think.
Well, no, a bird dog likes a pat on the head every now and then.
I'll be honest with you, Tom. I don't think those players listen to what anybody says. I think I'm going to give Coach Napier and his staff the credit, not Coach on that one, for holding that thing together. I think it was a tough deal. Now, I think Coach coming out probably helped him with the fan a little bit. So maybe we need to give this guy a chance because when Coach Saban's like E.F. Hutton. When he talks, people listen, right, Tom? And so I think maybe the fan base did listen. But that freshman quarterback getting well didn't hurt. That guy's pretty good.
That's another great point. Y'all, we all said this. You got to have players if you're going to win.
Yeah.
I tell you, I think the athletic director did a good job in making the announcement that he was going to be the coach next year. And I think because of that, those fans came out and supported that team. And they didn't come out and start booing him and thinking he was going to lose his job. There's already been. I don't think that hurt him. What the things both of you say are true, but I think the athletic director was smart in doing that. Everybody else thought he was dumb. I thought he was smart. I think Barry did too. I just think that was the best way to handle it, because he felt like that and I think a lot of it was because what I said, they played a little bit better and stayed after it when they played Georgia. And I think that Georgia game and a loss was almost like a win.
The fact that they stood up and showed their manhood in the way they played that game, I think that did wonders for that team. But I do believe they were motivated, and whether that the players heard Coach Saban, but the coaching staff heard Coach Saban. I guarantee you that. And I think they had not all, because it's a team and it takes a team to win, but I just think that had a positive effect on it. And I also wanted to ask y'all this. Going forward, maybe people will have more patience because, like Coach said a while ago, the pool is dwindling on coaches.
Well, I'm going to tell you why they will have to have more patience, Tom.
Money?
Because of that $22 million they got to send out to the players that they haven't sent in the past. $22 million going out, it's going to be hard to buy these guys out anymore. Because that's $22 million that you used to not have to spend. That's per year. So that is going to give these coaches longer leashes, and they're going to have to somehow figure out ways to make these buyouts so not so big. And I don't know how Jimmy Sexton and those guys are going to feel about that. They're going to say, hey, you want my guy?
Well, they're going to be mad because they've been racking up.
yeah. But that $22 million, that's a big deal, man. That starts going out next year. So I don't think you can fire the guy at LSU and send out $22 million to the players every year. You're going to have to bite your lip.
Because Lord knows, as long as he's there, our streak is going to be intact.
You're not high on him, are you?
Who's that?
Kelly.
Well, I mean, look at him. I mean, people at LSU, I just don't understand it. The talent that's in South Louisiana is no excuse for not being very, very competitive.
Yeah. So anyway, good call. So who's your pick for SEC Coach of the Year?
Oh, I tell you what, it's hard. You know, I'm sold kind of on Shane Beamer, but the guy at Vandy, I mean, nobody.
Tom, he can't get it. They've fallen here lately. They're.
What if they beat Tennessee?
They're 3-4.
I thank you, Coach.
They ain't gonna beat Tennessee.
I'll look like a dude.
They're 3-4. You ain't giving him the SEC coach. At one point, he was over. Thank you, Tom.
Well, what if A&M beats Texas?
If A&M beats Texas, then maybe you give it to Elko. I don't know. Something about A&M. They got so much money. I don't know. They're okay. They're just okay.
Well, you were over there. You liked it.
Yeah, I'm just saying, but I don't think they. I mean, I guess they're 5-2 in the league. So anyway, all right, Chase. We want to go to break or take Phillip now.
You take Phillip now.
All right, let's get to the Yellowwood hotline. What's up, Phillip?
Hey, Phillip.
Hey, guys. Hope y'all had a great Thanksgiving.
Did you?
I did, yeah. I love being off for 2 straight days. I'm off today, and so it's been really nice for me because I work 2 jobs, so it's been nice.
You know what? I had a great thing happen, too. I was talking about tenderloins and all that, and so when I got out of the show, my man Joe Duckworth sent me he said, I'm cooking some tenderloins. I'll cook you a couple. I said, really? Yeah. So he cooked me a couple pork tenderloins and sliced them up and sent them right over the house. When you throw out things on the radio, Phillip, sometimes those things work out for you.
Man, that is so nice. That is so nice. Well anyway, hope Miss Sampson's doing okay. And,
appreciate it.
Yes, sir. Hey, I just want to tell you guys, man, I think I missed Tom's call. I just haven't been able to get on today. But anyway, I think Diabate, if he keeps on this trajectory, Wimp and Barry, if he keeps on this trajectory this year, this guy's going to be a first-round draft pick.
He's a hard-nosed kid.
He's the kind of kid that they need. He's not worried about shooting a bunch of threes. He wants to rebound, defend. You got to have a guy like that. He wasn't playing a lot early, but that's why you go through this. He's going to end up being one of their most important players. He does the dirty work that the Nelsons and those guys don't. Stevenson, those guys don't want to do it. He'll do it. He don't mind.
Well, I tell you, he has really impressed me, and I can't remember which game that was. He didn't play much. I want to say it was the Illinois game.
Yeah, he played 2 minutes.
Yeah, I don't get that, but anyway, that guy's been a fixture on the court for me, and I think he's fixing to get in that realm. I think he's about to become a fixture, and Youngblood, I think he's due back for Creighton from what I'm hearing, and that's going to be interesting because he's going to take somebody's minutes, and it might be Fallon.
Well, when you start talking about these guys taking minutes, whose minutes are going to drop? You got Reitzel, you got Stevenson, who's not playing a ton. You got Reed. They love Grant Nelson, so his minutes, I don't know. But you're right. It's going to be difficult. I don't know where these minutes are going to go. So.
Well, I'll tell you what, we've been giving Jared a kind of a hard time this year, but Jared hit some big shots the other night. And, that second three that he hit is kind of what got Alabama going to the win. That's kind of propelled them to the win because they were only up by 3, I think, at that time late, and he hit that 3.
Yeah.
But anyway, I love Diabate, man, and he you know who he reminds me of, Whip?
Who?
T.R. Dunn.
Yeah. Ooh, he blinds you, T.R. Dunn. And T.R. Dunn's one of the great players in the history of our school. Dean Smith would say when T.R. Dunn would guard you, and you throw him the ball, he'd throw it to somebody else to score it. T.R. Dunn, I thought he's a great player. Whew.
Is that a good comparison?
Yeah, I think so. T.R. Dunn was tough as nails too, boy.
Yeah, he's not this kid's not like what the McDonald's All-American, didn't have all the accolades. He just does the dirty work. You got to have a guy like that. So, his role will definitely increase. All right, Philip, who is your SEC football coach of the year?
Oh, my God. Well, had DeBoer beaten Oklahoma, I'd have given serious consideration. If DeBoer won out, he would have been kind of in the mix. But I'm saying Billy Napier.
Yeah, he was my second choice. I'm going Shane Beamer, then Billy Napier. Shane's definitely done a fantastic job. I tell you what, I wouldn't want to play South Carolina right now. You think they can beat Clemson tomorrow?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir.
There's a guy from Anderson that says that should be the blue plate special, that they're getting points. I don't know, man. Woo.
I'm scared of it.
We haven't done the blue plate yet.
Yeah, you did it. Army. Take Army -7 against
I won last week again.
UTEP.
I'm hot.
UTEP.
Well, I'll tell you what, I learned over the last 3 years of listening to y'all intently, Rip Sanderson, he can pick an Alabama football game, by God.
Alabama? He don't ever pick Alabama.
Well, I'm scared.
Well, he knows something. He knows something. All you got to do is listen to him. He can tell you kind of what you need to do.
Don't brag on him. You're sounding like more and more like Tom now. Y'all stop bragging on him.
Philip knows how smart I know how smart Philip is. He knows how smart I am.
Well, so there you go, Rip. You made me feel good, so you're brilliant.
There you go. Philip, you coming up tomorrow?
I'm not, Barry. I'm going to take it easy, and having these days off is so nice. I've come to 4 games this year, so that's good. I'm good. And I'm just going to sit back and relax and watch it.
All right. I'm looking for 2 tickets for somebody. Somebody has 2 tickets. But I got to be in the lower bowl. I can't
Hey, you're going to that game and sit out in the cold?
No, well, we're going to be down there on the quad. I may not, but there's some people wanting to go. So.
Yeah. I'm not. That's nothing. I'm not going to sit in the cold.
No, I'm going to try to go home and watch it, but I know I'm not going to get out.
There's a long line to the bathroom.
Well, yeah.
Yeah.
So.
Y'all go watch it. Go watch it with Wimp and take care of it.
So you're going to get to watch the Iron Bowl, and then you can chill out a little bit, and then you can watch Alabama and Oregon play for $1.5 million tomorrow night.
Those doggone games have been lasting 2 hours and 45 minutes. It's ridiculous.
$1.5 million to the winner. Did they split that up evenly so the 13th man going to get as much as the Mark Sears?
I think it goes to the school.
No, it goes to the players. It's NIL.
Yeah, aren't the players getting $80,000 apiece?
It's $1.5 million.
I thought it was a school.
No, it's NIL. $1.5 million if they win tomorrow. So anyway, thank you, Phil.
Well, anyway, have a good one.
I can get my team ready to play for that.
You ain't got to say nothing. What's that, Chase? Divide $1.5 million by 13. You got 13 on. 2 of them are red. If you're red-shirted, do you get some of that too, Chase? Chase says no, then divide it by 11.
Are you sure it's for the players themselves?
Yeah, it's NIL. Now, they'll get over $1 million if they lose, but everybody's guaranteed $1 million, but the winner gets more. What, Chase? What's the number on that, Chase? 13.
So they playing?
Oregon.
Is Oregon any good? Oregon.
They're undefeated, 7-0.
So 13.
Yeah,
we're going on this one. $115,000 per player.
$115,000 per player
to go out to hang out in Vegas for a week.
And they're talking about getting players to come to. Gosh, a mogi dookie.
Cha-ching.
I gave my $7.50 every 2 weeks.
Well, they're saying they ought to just split it between Mo Diabate and Mark Sears. Just let them have the $750 apiece.
You got your $7.50 check yet? No, not yet. I'll get it tomorrow.
I mean,
good gosh, from Gordo.
You think they're hanging out in the casino? They're at the MGM. Huh?
One of the players for Indiana was at a casino in Vegas.
How much would Alabama get if they lose? They still get
They get like 1.1 or something. That big kid for Indiana, they paid Balo or whatever his name is. They paid over $1 million for him, and they got blown out. He's out of shape, running up and down the floor. Over $1 million for that guy. What does college sports come to you? Let's talk.
Who? Who'd
Indiana. They got this big old center in
Indiana
there.
can't beat their grandmother.
And they got absolutely smoked.
Bobby Knight come out of the coffin if he saw Indiana play.
I mean, like, this guy's getting $1.2 million, and they got beat by 30 or 40, maybe 40.
I know it.
And then they lost again yesterday, and they're going to get pummeled again today by somebody. So,
well, they're going.
Usually checked at least once or twice a year. Let your doctor know you are concerned about the health of your kidneys and ask what you can do to keep your kidneys healthy.
365, 24/7. You'll find road and utility crews, tow truck, law enforcement, and first responders working along Alabama's roadway.
We're making improvements and helping our communities stay connected.
We're working hard to make sure you're safe on the road. Now we need your help to make sure we're safe too.
Alabama's move over law requires you to move over a lane when you see flashing lights on the road.
I'll still be making the plays. You'll be making the bets. And finally getting the sports glory you deserve. The Sportsbook at Golden Moon Casino. Play the game.
Inside the Locker Room with Wimp and Barry on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
I tell you what, there's been some surprises in the SEC. Talking about who's Vanderbilt, who replaced every player off their team. They're 6-1. They play today against Tennessee Tech on ESPNU at 2:00. Wichita State takes on Florida. Florida 7-0. That game will be on ESPN. They're playing down at Disney down there. Oklahoma, Dad, who's picked 15th in the SEC. They beat Arizona last night. They're over in Atlantis. They're in the championship game today, and they're taking on Louisville. So Porter has done a good job there. Ole Miss, 6-0. They're out in California. They play Purdue today. So I think that game will be on CBS Sports at 5 o'clock. Kentucky, undefeated, takes on Georgia State. They're at home. Northwestern plays LSU. LSU is 5-1. And then Delaware State takes on Texas. And Butler plays Mississippi State. Mississippi State, big win last night, and they're doing a good job there. So that game is in Tempe, Arizona. Mississippi State, I'm looking here. I lost.
They're undefeated.
Yeah, they beat UNLV last night, 80 to 56 or something like that. So the SEC right now, undefeated teams: Auburn, Florida, Tennessee, Kentucky, Ole Miss, Mississippi State, and Oklahoma. Alabama 1 loss, Georgia 1 loss, Missouri 1 loss, Vanderbilt 1 loss, LSU 1 loss, and Texas 1 loss. The worst team there is South Carolina at 4-3. Arkansas is 5-2. Texas A&M 5-2. So the league may be pretty balanced there. They're talking about this is going to be a 10-team NCAA. 10 teams out of the SEC going to the NCAA tournament. I could probably see that right now. And then they'll start chewing each other up when they get into the league. But pretty good showing in the non-conference by the SEC so far.
Oh, it sure is. They got a lot of good teams in there. They got a couple of they're a little bit weaker than because of the schedule they play. But yeah, the league is good.
But for Oklahoma to go over there and knock off Providence
last night.
Beat Arizona. And then Louisville, who absolutely destroyed Indiana. And then they got a new coach there to keep him college at Charleston, I believe he was. So they've got a whole new team. So this portal now, these guys can pick up a bunch of new players and still pretty good. I think Vanderbilt, I've watched them play. They're not bad. They got the guy from James Madison coaching up there. So anyway, pretty good SEC basketball. Alabama will take on Oregon, as we said, tomorrow, and the winner gets the most money at $1.5 million. Do the managers get any of that, Dan? Do you give the managers a little bit?
Barry, I can't. I just can't. I thought he went to school. School just.
It's NIL.
And I'm talking about get rid of people ready to play mentally. Shit, that's a joke. What I say, if I think I'm going to make all that kind of money, I'm going to play mentally. God, I don't. Where did I come up with that? I thought that was
No, that's why everybody. Dave Odom, they were laughing about it. The Maui shootout always has a great field. They get, how much Auburn got for winning that Maui shootout? As much as you and I got, nothing. Where Alabama's going to go win in Vegas, and they're going to get $1.5 million. So they were laughing. The Alabama fans were laughing at Auburn, saying, "That's great, y'all went out there and won. You get nothing for your players, and we're going to get Alabama players are going to get over $1 million." So Dave Odom sitting there saying, "How in the world am I going to keep this tournament going at this level in Maui?" And he says, "Well, that's not sustainable what they're doing in Vegas. I don't know whether it is or it isn't, but if they have the money, people are going to be blowing their phones up to get in that tournament."
Well, I sure they will.
Yeah.
They'll be canceled out of Maui.
Maui, it's a long way over there. But, those were put together
years ago.
Yeah, those fields are put together a while ago. But now the place to go is going to be, unless the NCAA somehow figures out how to stop it, that's going to be I don't know where this money's coming from, because that's I don't know. You got 8 teams over there. They're all getting at least.
The reason they're doing it, son, is because the fans come in there and gamble.
Yeah, but how many fans are really over there?
I don't know.
But the players, everybody's saying, well, why? Because the players have been off Thursday and Friday, so they have all these functions I think they go to and autograph sessions and clinics and stuff to try to earn the money. But they have sponsors, I guess, for it, paying that. So,
can you imagine the former coaches in athletics waking up and hearing that?
Yeah.
So Coach Bryant, Wally Butts.
That'll be the next thing. They'll have like preseason games, like Alabama used to play in the Kickoff Classic at Chick-fil-A deal in Atlanta. They'll have football games like that now, where the players get the NIL money. First game of the year, they'll be playing in some games. Of course,
are we going to have a situation where we have a lot of people, even more people, quitting and going somewhere else, finding out about money, and the transfer portal just absolutely blowing completely up?
I mean, imagine if you're Alabama and you were in that Vegas thing next year. You'd say, "Man, if you come here, we're playing this Vegas thing. The least amount we're going to make is $1 million." I mean, of course,
that's how you get those players.
Yeah, those guys will be. Of course, a lot of these guys are making a lot.
Omar Sears making a ton.
Yeah, so I mean, they're going to throw that on. They must get him. Mama going to get a new car for Christmas. Chase.
Guarantee you. She may get a car dealership.
Yeah. All right. We'll take this last break, and then for this hour, and we open up the phone lines 205-342-9904. Who's your SEC Coach of the Year? What's your thoughts on that NIL money, that tournament out in Vegas? You all right with that? Those guys getting that money? If they're paid, and I guess they're worth it. So I don't know. You listen to Tide 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. It's the home of Alabama sports.
Go inside the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Gary Harris Show.
Hey, everybody, it's Gary Harris. Friday morning at 9 a.m. Fridays at the Free. I'll be live at Industry Irish Pub getting you ready for the Iron Bowl. Special guest, our Bama football trivia giveaway. The vibe is going to be awesome, and we're going to have a great show. Friday morning after Thanksgiving. Fridays at the Free at 9 a.m.
800-8000 or visit mezwins.com. I've got this.
No representations made that the quality of legal services to be performed is greater than the quality of legal services performed by other lawyers.
The Alabama Securities Commission protects you from financial fraud. Anyone asking you for investment money must be licensed. You're careful with your money. Fraudsters aren't. Before you invest, call our hotline at 1-800-222-1253 to verify the licensing of the person making an offer and the product. Don't lose.
Why choose a Sleep Number smart bed?
Can I make my side softer?
Can I make my side firmer? Can we sleep cooler? Sleep Number does that. Cools up to 8 times faster and lets you choose your ideal comfort on either side. Your Sleep Number setting. And now, during our Black Friday sale, save 50% on the Sleep Number limited edition smart bed. Plus free home delivery when you add a base. And Cyber Monday. To find a store near you, visit sleepnumber.com.
Free shipping to your home on purchases over $25. Your new Academy Sports and Outdoor store is located at 4610 U.S. Highway 280 in Birmingham.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather cold and dry today, mostly sunny with a high at 48. A freeze tonight, clear with a low at 27. And for the weekend, a good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Highs between 50 and 53 degrees. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 35 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back to Inside the Locker Room. All right, Yellowwood pressure-treated pine from Great Southern. They bring you the 7 hour. If it doesn't have the yellow tag on it, then you don't want it. We'll have your phone lines open in the second hour. We'll have Coach Sonny Smith. Hopefully I get to hear my favorite song of the week here in a few minutes. But dial us up, Iron Bowl. Let's talk Iron Bowl. What team will be more motivated for this Iron Bowl tomorrow? Will it be equal? Does Alabama still have the playoff opportunity, although long shot? Will they be motivated because of that?
How much money does the winner get?
Auburn is not bowl eligible. So if they win this game, they're bowl eligible. So does that give Auburn some motivation here? So dial us up. Who you think has more to play for in this Iron Bowl? Yes.
How much money does the winner get? You're
gonna get a Nuke's box meal for after the game if you win.
God, Barry.
So you ain't getting no money. You listen to Tide 100.9. It's the home of Alabama sports.
Will award $500 for the best Christmas light display in West Alabama. To enter, upload your photos to Tide109.com. Merry Christmas from your friends at Taco Casa and Tide 100.9.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama Department of Labor, ABA, and the station. The Alabama Department of Labor is an equal opportunity employer program. Auxiliary aids and services available upon request to individuals with disabilities. Dial 711 for TTY accessibility.
WTBC Tuscaloosa and W265CG Tuscaloosa, a Town Square media station. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Reduced because of the playoff. When Georgia beat Texas, it didn't ruin Texas's season. My first take was, well, if they meet...
If you're eager to find out what Colin said next, just podcast it by searching The Herd. And as always, you can listen live to Colin Cowherd, weekdays at noon Eastern, 9 a.m. Pacific, on Fox Sports Radio. This is The Herd.
Wow, 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 wow.
With Colin Cowherd.
So we look at Tua's contract at $53 million, and that's like 4th or 5th in the league. But within a couple of years, it'll be like 10th or 12th. So it is not unrealistic for a Pro Bowl quarterback whose team can't score without it. But is Tua not a better version of Brock Purdy? I mean, they're both 6'1", 220. They both have multiple injuries in the NFL. Neither has a great arm. Both have a great offensive coach, same system with great weapons that elevate them at 6'1". They're athletic, but there's no wow there athletically. I mean, Tua struggles in cold weather. I saw...
Inside the Locker Room with former Crimson Tide basketball coach Wimp Sanderson and his son, former SEC and ACC assistant basketball coach Barry Sanderson. It's time to take you inside the locker room on your home for Alabama sports. Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Welcome back to the second hour of Inside the Locker Room. Andrew Kniffer, he's my Allstate insurance agent. Let him become yours out at 4705 McFarland Boulevard, Suite 3 over in Northport. Give Andrew and his staff a call, 205-722-9201. They will set you right up. So just give them a call. They can get a free quote for you, send it right to you. and they will take great care of you. All right, Hugh Freeze had a press conference. Some of it's about Texas A&M, so I don't really think anybody cares about that. But let's get more to the Alabama stuff there. So, tell you what, let's go to clip 4. His message on the secondary to stop Alabama receivers like Ryan Williams. Been a lot of talk from their players. I think their freshman receivers want to show up here, Chase, and show that they're better than Ryan Williams. But let's go ahead and play clip 4 there about what Hugh Freeze had to say about the secondary defending the receivers and Ryan Williams.
And what have you seen from Ryan Williams this year?
Well, we've played some really good receivers here as of late. I thought A&M's were very talented also, and certainly Alabama's are. They've got 3 guys that I think are all really, really legit SEC receivers. And, of course, Ryan is a kid we recruited really hard and know how talented he is also. I mean, the message is the same. We've got to do our assignment on every play and forget the last one. Have a short memory when you're a DB. It's just you can't hold on to it. You've got to play the next one, and you're on an island a lot of the times back there. And with an athletic quarterback and athletic receivers, they're going to make some plays, and just got to hope we can make our share also.
All right, let's go to clip 5. Obviously, Hugh Freeze will be calling the plays. They asked about how to create big plays against this Alabama defense.
To give you a chance there in Alabama?
Yeah, it's film study, and you got to have good designs, and they've got to be called at the right time against the right defense. That's not always the easiest thing. You can have some that are, have a chance to work against multiple things, but usually the biggest ones need to be called against the right coverages at the right time without pressure maybe, or, and all of those are sometimes a guessing game. But I think we do have, a knack for having good designs for some, and we'll need those to go multiple drives. You're not going to just drive the football 75 yards every time without some explosive plays. So that'll be a big part of winning there in Tuscaloosa on Saturday.
Go ahead.
I think he did a good job there. I think that's what things he said are so true. Sometimes the defenses take away things you'd like to do, and then the fans criticize the offense for not doing this or that. But the defense dictates they couldn't do that. I think that's what I'm saying right there is to go out of everybody's ear and somewhere else. But that's important. What I say, the defense dictates what you do offensively, what you think they're going to do defensively, and so you got to have talent to run the plays that you want to run. And sometimes the defense tricks you at times, but I think what he said was very good.
Does Hugh Freeze have this job if he didn't beat Nick Saban twice at Ole Miss?
I think it helped.
All right, so they asked Hugh Freeze the importance of the Iron Bowl to a coach's legacy / career like his. Now, if you want to be honest about it, Auburn should have won the game last year. The miracle play at the end. He has beaten Alabama a couple of times, which I think has really helped him. Here's what Hugh Freeze had to say about the importance of the Iron Bowl to a coach's legacy.
Auburn. Oh, there's no bigger game on the schedule to sit in this seat, and to lose one like we did last year still doesn't sit right. And I know that the Auburn faithful have had to endure that, and we want to change that feeling in this building and for our great fan base in this state. And it's a tall task. Their roster is deeper, but it was deeper last year too, and we had a shot to win it. So got to find a way to keep ourselves in it and give us a chance to win, and try to change that, and hopefully start making that a regular expectation.
Since Alabama and Auburn have been playing on each other's home field, the winningest coach at Alabama is Tommy Tuberville against Alabama. Pardon me, Barry. I think I'm correct in saying that. Somebody can call it and correct us. But Tommy Tuberville came into Alabama and won several times, 27-0 lead. Alabama hadn't got beat, I think it was. Alabama was going through some difficult times. But regardless of that, you got to give Tommy, whose average is running water as a coach, came into Tuscaloosa and won more than any Auburn coach has. And people can call Barry and correct it if I'm wrong.
All right. There's been a lot of talk from their freshmen this week about the game. And, retaining these freshmen is going to be big for Hugh Freeze and Auburn to keep building their program. But they asked him about how well the freshmen have played this season. Clip 8 there, Chase, on what he said about that.
All year, but especially the last 6 or 7 games, they've been heavily involved. How much have you seen that group grow up, both on offense and defense?
Enormous. I see it every week. I mean, the improvement that Malik Blocks and Amaris Williams, Riddick, Jay Crawford, Kinley Falston. I mean, they're getting better and better each week. And offensively, I think, our receivers were talented and good, but they're starting to learn how to play the game better and understand some coverages and depths of routes. And, so it's certainly, I've seen the growth, and they are getting better, and hopefully we'll continue to improve this week.
I would think this would be the best Auburn's been all year. With freshmen now, they're almost sophomores now, right? So those young guys, they've gotten their feet wet in college football.
Yeah, I think so. I don't think they have near the talent that Alabama has. I just don't. So I think I think they've got good talent who's getting better, but I don't think they will be able to come in. If I was coaching, I'd be worried sick. But I don't think they've got near the talent to come into Alabama and beat Alabama. I think Alabama's home field advantage is not that big. It's okay. It'd be bigger than normal. But I just think I don't know the score, but I think Alabama wins.
I think Hugh Freeze understands this rivalry more than
sure he does.
Kalen DeBoer.
You're right there.
Whether that means anything or not. I just played that clip 9. Thoughts on the belief to pull off the win against Alabama. I think Hugh Freeze kind of believes they can beat them, to be honest with you. Go ahead, Chase, play that.
The last Iron Bowl going into this one now.
You have zero chance of winning if you don't have a belief that you can do it. And I think somewhere along the line in these difficult losses, we've started believing more. And hope has become a real thing that you can go on the field and beat good football teams. You've played close games with them, but you can win them, and it's going to take an amount of that belief going into Tuscaloosa to win. It's not an easy place to play. No road. Just look at the SEC every week. You play on the road, it's hard enough to win at home, but you go on the road, it's really difficult, and so that's a tall task that we have to have, but it better start with us believing that we can go in there and win.
I think he believes it. Whether they can do it or not, I think he's right. All right, back to the Yellowwood hotline. Hey, Tom.
Good morning, Barry. I want to ask Coach something. You nailed it, Coach, with Coach Tuberville. Average is running water is exactly right, because and the reason I say that is not to demean him or anything like that, but you look Alabama, and you pointed this out too. Alabama was in a bad spot right there. They handed the reins over to, as you always said, and it's absolutely the truth, to somebody that never ran a practice. You know what I mean?
Right.
And Coach Shula, who I feel in my heart of hearts was unfairly treated bad, did wrong, had been left alone, he would have figured this job out. And but anyway, all that being said, Tommy Tuberville, average is running water, absolutely the truth. But here's the thing, Coach. When Alabama was going through that spell there, he was not able to capitalize on a national championship.
Yeah. They got close one time, Tom.
That's right.
They got close one time. The voters and Auburn people got upset about it, and I don't blame them. Alabama would have too. I forgot who got it. My memory, it's not too good. But
Auburn got outsmarted that year by Stoops at Oklahoma.
Oh yeah, I thought it was that. I thought that's who it was. Yeah,
it was. And I tell you what happened. They had their schedule. Stoops looked at it and said, "You know what? This schedule is not going to get us where we need to get in the national scene." He dropped a real weak opponent at the last minute and picked up a little bit stronger opponent, somebody he could beat, but yet was rated better. Auburn was in a bind. They had to pick up a team in a hurry that year to make out their schedule. They picked up the team that Oklahoma dropped. That was the difference in them getting in the national championship game.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. You're right on all that stuff. But Tommy and them came in there, and, you tell the average person that, they say, "Oh, Wimp, that Tommy, he did." They came in there, and regardless of whatever happened, they came in there and did it.
Fear the thumb. He was walking around prancing like a peacock, and, of course, he'll do that. But, holding up his thumb, everybody remembers that, I hope.
He was. Yes, he did. He took advantage of it. He took advantage of weakness when Alabama was down. He took advantage of it. So,
but he didn't make it. He did not take the ultimate advantage. You know what I'm saying?
Yep.
So there it is.
There you go. Thank you, Tom.
Thanks, Tom.
All right, go to TuscaloosaToyota.com. You can look at all the new inventory, the pre-owned inventory. You can rent a Toyota. You can order a part, schedule a service, all just right there at the website. Or swing by Skyland Boulevard, see Justin, see David. They got the great trucks out there, the great SUVs, the RAV4's the hottest selling car they got out there. Probably a good idea to get somebody a vehicle for Christmas. Let them help you out with that. They'll take great care. You go to TuscaloosaToyota.com or swing by Skyland Boulevard and tell them that Wimp and Barry sent you. We'll try to get Coach Sonny Smith on when we get back from break. They're playing a lot better now that he's not the color radio guy, Dad. So maybe
that's right. They're finally playing better.
Yeah, they're reaching the potential. I'll let you tell him that. You listen to Tide 100.9. It's the home of Alabama sports.
Road tripping, business travel, or bringing your car in for repairs. All great reasons to rent a Toyota at Tuscaloosa Toyota. You can rent the latest Toyota models for a day, a week, or a weekend. Every Toyota rental-car comes with 24 hours roadside assistance.
Giving away a bottle of Steve Azar's new Bloody Mary Mix. Visit us at Pearl River Resort and put the good in your mornings. Must be 21 or older to play.
Serving part-time in the Army National Guard has led to a lot of firsts for me. It paid for me to be the first person in my family to go to school. That education got me to the first day at my dream job, which I can still hold while I serve part-time. That job and the home loan benefits I got from the Army National Guard helped me buy my first house. I also know that I will be one of the first to respond if my community ever needs me.
Sponsored by the Alabama Army National Guard. Aired by the Alabama Broadcasters Association and this station.
Are you receiving unemployment? Your benefits could be at risk. Here's how you can protect yourself and your benefits. Never respond to mail notifying you of a false claim in your name. Never answer a text message asking you to verify your account. And only respond to official Alabama Department of Labor's social media pages. Report fraud at labor.alabama.gov/fraud. Brought to you by the Alabama
to be. Visit us now to save big and discover why so many are switching to BMW. BMW of Tuscaloosa. Take your dreams for a drive.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather cold and dry today, mostly sunny with a high at 48. A freeze tonight, clear with a low at 27. And for the weekend, a good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Highs between 50 and 53 degrees. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 36 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
You're listening to Inside the Locker Room with Wimp and Barry, only on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
You ran crying to the bedroom. I ran off to the bar. Another piece of heaven gone to heaven. The words we spoke in anger just tore my world apart.
And you know what that song means? That means it's time to get to the NABC District 6 Coach of the Year Ohio Valley Coach of the Year, 2-time SEC Coach of the Year, CAA Coach of the Year, the Alabama Sports Hall of Fame, Coach Sonny Smith. Happy Thanksgiving, Coach.
Happy Thanksgiving. How's it?
Why have you on with Vern Gosden plays it like that? Why have you? I don't know why we have you on.
Hey, Vern Gosden is the man. Vern Gosden should be in the Country Music Hall of Fame. They hadn't put him there yet, but they better.
And there was Sonny James.
No. Now you always go to Sonny James. Vern Gosden is the singing man from the state of Alabama.
James Hackleberg.
Coach,
Hackleberg, Alabama.
Dad is saying that Auburn basketball is playing a lot better now that you're not the color guy. That's not nice, is it? They said they're good.
Well, you know what? It kind of worked out that way, hadn't it?
Yeah.
There might be something to that. But I always kept them. I was like a third coach.
Yeah.
And I don't know which one the fan listened to, but I always kept the other two coaches in a job for sure.
Yeah.
Well, one thing has happened. You don't know about this. Auburn has committed a couple of fouls since you left.
No.
They never committed a foul when you was calling the Cotton Picker games.
Unless it's playing at your place, that's for sure.
Yeah. Wow, Coach. I mean, I thought they would be good, and can a team peak too early?
Well, I don't know if in Auburn's situation if that's entirely true. I think they've hit on the fact that Broom is so much better than they thought he was going to be.
Boy, is he? Yeah, that's a good.
Yeah, and
there.
I think
I didn't think he was that good.
Well, if you think about it, Wimp, he doesn't jump that high. He doesn't run that fast. It just seems like the ball, when it gets in his hand, something good happens.
And now he thinks he's an outside shooter, and he's making some.
And thing about it, he's gone away from the basket at the top of the key and started making shots out there.
Jay Billups bagged on him something terrible at that game.
When they double him, he's tall. He can just throw over. He's throwing lobs to Cardwell and those guys. So doubling him, that is not really effective either because he's making the right play out of the double team.
Yeah, he really is. You know what he has done? And you brought it up right there. He has made Cardwell become a much better player.
Yeah.
Because they have gone off of Cardwell, left him to double up on him and to defend more towards his side of the ball. And, they play like a 3-2 a lot more than they do anything else. 3 out, 2 under. And sometimes it's 4 out and 1 under. But what's happened is they've left Cardwell and tried to stop him, and it's made Cardwell a better player. Cardwell started dunking things now that he used to. He wouldn't take it on himself to make himself an offensive threat. But he's done a little bit more of that, and because of that, he's made them a better team because he defends the basket and knocks shots down, runs the floor, and he's kind of he's not dirty, but he's very, very physical, and he gives them the physicality that a lot of the other players on the team don't have.
Those games you play when you come back from Maui is such a time change. It's usually when the team comes back the first game back, they don't play very well. Well, Auburn happens to go to Duke next Tuesday. They could be ranked number 1. That's not set up well for Auburn to come back after that long trip and have to go to Duke, especially if Auburn comes out ranked number 1, which a lot of people are saying they are. That'll be a tough chore, wanted coach, going to Cameron Indoor there.
Oh, without a doubt. It's a tough choice going to Cameron at any time.
Yeah.
But the odds against them going over there and winning will be a lot less now because of that one very thing for sure.
Yeah.
It's a tough place to go play. And it's not because of officials. They're just that good there. I remember Vic Boo was telling me one time, said, one time, Sonny, this program's going to be one of the best in the country because the people are committed to basketball because they don't think they can get there in football. And if you're in the ACC, you've got to be committed to basketball. And Duke found themselves when Vic Bubas there committed to basketball, and all of a sudden they've been rising ever since. Through Bucky Waters and all the different guys they had since then. It's one of the premier programs in the country, and I think will always be.
Yeah.
People don't know Vic Bubas. He was terrific. They all think about Coach K when time comes, but Vic Bubas was back in my and your era. He was a heck of a.
Oh yeah.
I got to have him visit with him when he came over to our clinic one time, and he is terrific.
Oh yeah, yeah. Well, when he came to the clinic, he spoke at the Alabama's clinic too. He told me, he said, I spoke that year too, and he said, if you'll come and work in my camp, I'll get you into college. Well, I went to his camp and I worked about 3 years. And then finally I walked into his office. I said, Coach, you told me he's going to get me into college if I come work in your camp. He looked at me and he said, well, you haven't asked. And I didn't, you think about that. He said, you haven't asked. He opened up his drawer, took out a piece of paper, handed it to me and said, call that number. And it was William and Mary. And Hubie Brown was leaving, and he'd helped Hubie Brown get the job to start with. He was leaving, and Chuck Daly was leaving too. Both they had that William and Mary at the time. Right before I went there, I was replacing Hubie Brown and Chuck Daly. You remember how well both those guys did?
Oh yeah, Chuck Daly was great too, boy.
Oh, he was a great coach. And he said, just call this number. And I doubt that Warren Mitchell knew who I was. But he called Warren Mitchell, and I called him, and they gave me the job on the spot.
I don't believe. Have you kept up with SEC basketball at all?
Oh, yes.
Okay, I don't believe Arkansas is going to be as good as we think they are. And Barry mentioned that at the very beginning.
Well, I was looking at my phone. Yeah. Funny that you bring it up. I was looking at my phone, and they're criticizing Arkansas basketball about the amount of talent that they got and the amount of production that they were getting on my phone today. And I was thinking, is it really dropped off that much? And maybe it has. I just hadn't been watching it.
Yeah, they're just, I don't know. They got beat pretty bad by Illinois. They played a weak schedule, but you got a lot of, like Oklahoma. They beat Arizona last night. They're in the finals out in Atlantis. Ole Miss is undefeated. Vanderbilt's better than people think. Some of those teams towards the bottom, they are playing really well. And then Alabama, Coach, they're playing Oregon tomorrow. If Alabama wins, they get $1.5 million in NIL money. Where
the players get it, Sonny. That's how much you gave them when you were coaching. How much did you give?
Well, we didn't call it NIL, but we did have a fund, and I cannot remember what that fund was.
Yep, $7.50.
It's called a violation.
$7 an hour. Was it by the hour or by the minute? Huh?
$7.50.
Yeah,
every 2 weeks.
All right.
Every 2 weeks.
Let's talk. You do know the Iron Bowl's tomorrow, right?
Hugh Freeze. Yes. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up.
Hugh Freeze, we just played a clip from him in the press conference, and he said, you got no chance of winning if you don't believe. And I think he believes this team, right now the freshmen have kind of grown up, that they can come up here and win this game. They're playing well. Alabama was horrible against Oklahoma. Auburn comes off a 4 overtime win against Texas A&M. So the mindset of both teams is in two different places right now. Just your thoughts.
I hope that it is.
Go ahead.
Everybody here starting to believe in Hugh Freeze now. I think it was like we got him. What are we going to do with him? How long is he going to be here? Type of thing. But I think he's starting to realize that he's building a program that might be a contender before it's all over. And I think they're starting to be more believers than they are of non-believers, and I think it's been a program of non-believers about half the year.
You got a 4 overtime win.
Yes.
Against A&M, and they believe like that.
Well, they were believing like that before that, for sure. But I think they're beginning to become more of a believer, and I think that game had a lot to do with it, for sure.
Yeah,
he's got a good team. It's not a bad team at all. It's if they can be productive through the air, passing the basketball, passing the football. And if they do that, well, they really become, because they've been running the ball extremely well. And I think people are starting to believe in this football program a lot more than they have in the past.
You feel Auburn can come up here and pull the upset tomorrow, Coach?
I don't think they're quite as good as Alabama, but I'm hoping that they can. But I don't know what's your thinking on that. I thought Alabama was a little bit more of a complete football team than Auburn.
Unfortunately, Alabama was at Oklahoma. They went out. They were going to make it to Atlanta. They were going to be in the Final 12, and they absolutely laid an egg, Coach. So I don't know. We don't know which Alabama's going to show up. They're so up and down. They look great against LSU and then terrible against Oklahoma. They've lost 3 games to Tennessee, Vanderbilt, in Oklahoma. So the Bama fans are worried who's going to show up and play. You just never know week to week.
Yeah. Well, what's happened is that everybody else has got better. It's not so much that you can go someplace and guarantee to win anymore.
Yeah.
You used to, Alabama could count on maybe only 2 or 3 losses a year, but now you don't count on anything on the places they got to go and the way teams have gotten better.
Yeah.
Sonny, do you realize that last Tuesday we would have spoken to the quarterback club at Huntsville for over 35 years?
No.
And we didn't get invited.
What happened up there? What did y'all do wrong?
How could they not have us? We carried that club for years. Well, we did. If Wimp could find the place, he got us lost every time we drove up there trying to find the club.
Well, it was between 30 and 35 years. And we didn't get an invitation.
We didn't get an invite.
I think because you're sick. I think maybe it's because you're sick and you're real funny and they didn't want to hear me anymore. By the way, Rex Frederick called me yesterday. Said he saw you in a hospital, in a doctor's office. Are you okay?
Well, I've been having some problems, but I seem to be getting a lot better.
Yeah, you always tell that. How's Jan?
Not good. Best way I can say it is not good.
Of course, I know it's public information, and you should be asking, I guess, on the radio. But
well,
Jan, I want you to be well. If I get to come down there for that cotton picking day,
you are coming, aren't you, Barry? You ought to come too. That would be something.
Barry can't come.
When is that?
So on Sunday.
When is it? Well, I can't even remember what date it is.
December the 8th. That's Sunday.
You've been honored so many times down there, you can't even remember when it is. Yeah. They're going to be.
Yeah, it's going to be a Wimp and Sonny honorary.
Well, instead of putting your name up at the very lights up there, they're going to take it down.
Coach, I think
you've always been my favorite, Will.
You may need to call Danny Hurley and tell him how to work the officials a little bit better. Now you can make him laugh. Danny Hurley, good night.
Hey, Wimp's the one that you call him. He's
Barry, tell you that. I wouldn't like
Danny
that.
Hurley,
Tell him, Barry.
What'd he do? Hey, I'm lost here. What'd he do?
My heavens.
I mean, he just went off on the officials, went off on them in the press conference, did it again. They went 0-3 in Maui. Now, he doesn't have the same team, but he's lost his mind on the sideline right now, Coach. He needs to calm it down a little bit over there. So they went to Maui and went 0-3. Can you imagine their next practice when they get back to Connecticut? Oh, my goodness.
They had 8 teams there, and they came in 7th.
They came in 8th.
8th.
Yeah.
Connecticut is not used to that. Connecticut will not handle that. Danny Hurley will not handle that. He'll be gone.
Yeah, he will.
That is one of the jobs you got to work to keep.
Yeah, he turned down the Lakers. I don't know that he can coach the pros the way he acts.
He couldn't, Barry.
No, he couldn't.
No. Pro ball, Pro Bowl is not going to take some guy that's going to drive people and cuss them. I wonder what pro coach today can still get after his players and still get them to play. You don't find that you look at the guys the way they and read about them. But you don't have these driving custom type coaches. The Hubie Browns of the world are gone.
Yeah, They'll transfer these college kids will transfer on you, Sonny.
Well, they will. They definitely will. And I would too.
Let me ask you this. I missed the point guard that y'all got is playing well at Alabama. He's a very good player. He's not playing.
Well, he was a good player. He was a good player when he left here.
He's not playing a lot of minutes.
20.
But is that a factor with kids? With this kid?
They never complained about him when he was here. He was like a point guard that had to shoot, type of thing. And I don't know if it's the same with him since he got there. He felt like when he had the ball in his hand, he had to look for a shot first and a pass second. That's not exactly the way it was, but it's kind of the way it worked out. And I think he was not as popular here as he needed to be, and they didn't think enough of him, make him the number one offensive weapon type of thing, but he was pretty good.
That Pettiford kid y'all brought in there, how much he cost? He's pretty good, Coach.
Well, he's worth it. I don't know what they paid, but
y'all spent some money. Alabama got a guy from Mobile that y'all committed to y'all. What happened on that? And then
I don't know. We don't get the paper down here. We don't get the Monday paper till Thursday, so I haven't been keeping up on things.
Don't try to park cars tomorrow because the game's in Alabama.
I can't believe they didn't have y'all.
Man, I've been losing money on the parking park. I need to have you organizing that.
I can't.
We can make some money.
Yeah, but don't try to park.
What's going on with you guys?
I can't believe they didn't have y'all back at that quarterback club. What happened?
I don't know. I think it because Sonny couldn't be there or something. I found the place every time Sonny kept saying somewhere, and I drove us right to it.
Well, the reason we're not going back, Barry, is because he got lost every time
I made that shortcut through Hartselle. I made a great.
I think that's probably the reason y'all didn't get it.
We go up to Hartselle to make a right. We'd make a right. We'd be somewhere over in Arkansas.
One of the reasons y'all didn't get invited back, you didn't freshen up your material. Y'all tried to use the same jokes every year.
I always thought you should use it up until they started complaining.
The guys that first started off listening to us, Barry, they passed away.
Oh, yeah. Well, so that's why you use the same jokes.
That's why we use the same jokes.
You think we killed most of them, Whip?
Yeah, we ate most of them, but they were laying in the aisle when we left, most of them.
Yes, that's for sure.
And then Sonny would say, Wimp, I don't think we was funny tonight, so we didn't be. Of course, I'd giggle. I say, I don't think we were either. I like those two jokes you told Sonny weren't funny at all. Really? They weren't that funny? I said, I didn't think they were.
Chase, it used to be, Chase, where they paid them.
He criticized me all the time, Barry. It's just not fair.
They paid
not fair. I build him up everywhere we go. He criticized me.
It used to be they would pay them to come up there and speak.
Yeah.
Last couple of years, they had to. Dad and Sonny had to pay them to get
to go. But it didn't go.
I run out of money. I run out of money having to pay.
I tell you one thing: you do a speaking engagement with Sonny, and you tell him that they didn't laugh at his jokes.
It makes him mad.
He don't like that at all.
No, I ain't going back. I'll be stunted my growth.
You sound like Kamala Harris.
I wish you stunted a little better right now.
All right. Well, Coach, give us the prediction on the Iron Ball. Who wins it?
I think Auburn. Auburn going to win this one.
All right. Score?
Got to say that because I live here.
Yeah.
What are they saying up there where they live?
He can lie like a cheap
They're scared. They're scared up here, Coach. They're scared.
Are they really?
Yeah. They need to be where they played against Oklahoma.
Why, crap. Alabama will knock them naked and hide their clothes.
No.
I hadn't heard that since the last time we spoke.
Yeah.
Hey, Barry, you going to come down to my thing they're having? You ought to come.
He ain't coming.
Yeah, I'll be there.
No, you ought to come. It's going to be good. Wimp's a feature speaker.
Who y'all playing that day?
I don't know. I don't even know what day it is right now.
It's a team they can beat.
Well, they can beat everybody on the schedule.
Right now, the way Auburn's playing, any team that they play.
I said, well, I want to see Sonny I want to see Sonny quick because he's be doing the game. The guy said, the lady said, Sonny ain't doing the games.
Yeah,
ain't doing the game.
No.
No, they don't let me do. They don't let me do many anymore. I don't know what happened.
Sit back and enjoy it.
I will.
Sit back and enjoy it. Eat just popcorn.
As long as y'all keep bringing me back, it makes me happy. Just keep bringing me back. I really need this.
Have a great weekend.
All right, thanks.
You have a great weekend. Thanks for having me on.
There's Coach Sonny Smith. Play the music, getting him out of here, Chase.
What music that is?
Well, while you're doing the Bryant Bank ad, we'll let this music play.
Oh, I want to hear it myself.
Well, you can listen to it afterwards.
I can't crap.
Go ahead. Bryant Bank.
Well, Bryant Bank. Bryant Bank is as good as Vern Osborne right there. They just as good. You go in there, you visit with the head banker and all the people there, and you will feel so comfortable going in there from time to time. Business account, personal account doesn't make any difference. If you need to borrow money, if you need to do some things, figure out how to buy a house, Bryant Bank. I guarantee you that your money is safe. That's the key word right there. Your money is safe at Bryant Bank. They do a great job for the schools in the cities that they're in. They're in Birmingham, a little bit everywhere. So go by Bryant Bank and tell them you heard on Inside the Locker Room. And while you were listening Inside the Locker Room, you hear Vern sing.
All right, turn it up a little bit, Chase. Chase, you like that song?
It's growing on me. I'm not gonna lie, it's growing on me.
Growing on you?
Yeah.
There you go. Chase is young. You don't like this song. You listen to Tide 100.9 at 12:30 a.m. WTBC. It's the home of Alabama sports.
Models in stock and over 60 pre-owned vehicles. Remember, we'll buy your car even if you don't do business with us. 3200 Skyland Boulevard, East Tuscaloosa. Online at mercedesoftuscaloosa.com.
The flagship station for Alabama Crimson Tide football.
Alabama touchdown.
Only on Tide 100.9 and streaming on the Tide 100.9 app.
Inside the Locker Room, 205-342-9904. Blue Plate special tomorrow. Army, and looked at the line, see if it moved, but -7 against UTEP. AL.com, they took the positions between Alabama and Auburn, Dad, and tried to say who had the edge. Quarterback, they gave the edge to Alabama. Their running back, Auburn, with Jaquez Hunter there, they need to run him more. Alabama's running backs hadn't gotten the ball all year. Receiver, tight end, edge, Auburn, with their depth. Their offensive line, they said Alabama. Really? I don't see that. I don't know about Auburn's offensive line. Alabama's does not play very well. Defensive line, even. Linebackers, advantage to Auburn. Alabama's had the injury bug there with the linebacker crew. Secondary, they're giving that advantage to Alabama. Special teams, Alabama. Coaching. What do you think AL.com said on coaching, Dad? Well, who's got the advantage there?
Auburn.
They called it even there, but I would say Auburn only because I think Hugh Freeze understands this rivalry more than Kalen DeBoer. Maybe that's not fair, but you have to kind of go through it before you understand it. All right, get to the Yellowwood hotline. Get Philip in. Good morning, Philip.
Hey, thanks for indulging me one more time. But I'll tell you what this sort of reminds me of time-wise is going back a long time. But if Auburn would win this game Saturday, it's going to sort of remind me of the time when Pat Dye was getting going at Auburn, and he corralled so much of the in-state talent and a lot of Georgia talent too. I think that's likely to happen. Not that Alabama's recruited, the state of Alabama like you would assume they would, but I think Auburn's going to put up more of a wall if they do win.
Yeah, Dad, your thoughts on? Maybe
I don't think Auburn. I don't think Auburn's going to come. I don't think Auburn's going to win. And most of the time, I'm usually scared anytime you play Auburn. And I was always scared of them, scared them in football because I was a football fan too. I don't think Auburn's good enough to come in and beat Alabama.
I think if the game was in Auburn, I think Auburn could win it. I can't see Auburn winning up here.
I can't see Auburn winning. You'd be the first to call us Monday if I'm wrong, but I don't think they come in here and win.
Well, you have a good feel for Alabama. I'll say that.
Yeah. We'll see. That's why they play it.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Well, y'all have a great weekend.
All right, thank you. All right, back to, we got a couple, two other. Hugh Freeze, Chase did a nice job putting those together. They asked Hugh Freeze about thoughts on Nick Saban not being the head coach for this year's Iron Bowl, and I'm sure that, honestly, that he's glad Nick Saban's not coaching because I think he'd feel like he has a better chance of catching Alabama in the future without Nick Saban roaming the sideline. Here's what Hugh Freeze had to say about that.
This team kind of devoid of what Nick Saban was all about?
I have on my list to call him and make sure he's out of town, and not in town this week. First, I have great respect for Kalen DeBoer, and we go way back to NAIA days, and he's had success everywhere he's been. And then Kane Womack, obviously my ties with his family. His father was my DC for years, and I gave Kane his first job at Ole Miss, and to watch him, he's got a wonderful family, and so I've got great respect for those guys also, and they've got one of my former guys as the defensive analyst there, and he knows all our stuff, and so we got to combat that again this week. But so I have great respect for Kalen and Kane and that staff there. Obviously, Nick was he's a friend of mine, but also I love competing against him because he's arguably the best that's done it. And I know a lot of people say, well, he always had good rosters. Well, that's part of being a good coach is you go get good rosters, and he was always very good at that. And it's different for sure. The scheme is a little different. It's not the same as what you would see under a Nick defense. I mean, there's some similarities. There's always going to be some, but it's not the same, to answer your question.
All right. Then the last clip, we got a couple more, but the last one on here, there's been a little friction, I think, between Peyton Thorne and Hugh Freeze. He benched him, and then they realized, he's probably the best one we got. We'll bring him back. Questioned his play call. One time said he changed it throughout the season. So I don't know what their relationship is, but obviously liked him a lot more when he played well against Texas A&M. But here's what Hugh Freeze says on his thoughts on it being Peyton Thorne's last game at Auburn.
Legacy.
It's funny you ask that. Most of our conversations now are, there'll be some ball talk, obviously, in the meetings and stuff, but most of it's been about just the mental toughness that he and I have kind of endured together to get through a lot of things that he could have gone a lot of different directions, and credit to him and his makeup and his determination and mental toughness to not let other people define him, and to continue to go to work and get better and improve and help others around him improve. And so most of our talks have just been about that, and there was some relief for he and I both to see him. I mean, he's really played well in a lot of games since the Cal game, and it just hadn't gotten the results for one reason or the other. But his play's been pretty consistent. I don't keep up with the stats. I don't know where he's at in the SEC passing and efficiency, but it's got to be up there, I would think. And so I'm happy for him because he's endured. And isn't that just, I know y'all get tired of hearing me talk about life, but that's really what I believe in. I believe that we are, I know I'll get judged by wins and losses and what the scoreboard says, and I get that. I signed up for it. But at the end of the day, man, 15 years from now, these young men will remember probably more about what I said about what we're learning, what we're going through, good, bad, or indifferent, and how I modeled that in relationship with them. maybe more than the wins and losses. And so proud to see Peyton endure well and finish well.
All right. Yeah, that's good stuff. All right, we'll take this last break, and then we'll wrap up the show. You listen to Tide 100.9, 1230 AM, WTBC. It's the home of Alabama sports.
Go inside the Alabama Crimson Tide with the Gary Harris Show.
Hey, everybody, it's Gary Harris. Friday morning at 9 a.m. Fridays at the Free. I'll be live at Innisfree Irish Pub getting you ready for the Iron Bowl. Special guest, our Bama football trivia giveaway. The vibe is going to be awesome, and we're going to have a great show. Friday morning after Thanksgiving. Fridays at the Free at 9.
With free delivery and financing on select appliances at the Home Depot. Visit jdpower.com/awards for more details. Offer valid November 6th through December 4th. U.S. only. See store or online for details.
Tide 100.9 Tuscaloosa weather.
The weather cold and dry today, mostly sunny with a high at 48. A freeze tonight, clear with a low at 27. And for the weekend, a good supply of sunshine tomorrow and Sunday. Highs between 50 and 53 degrees. I'm James Spann on the ABC 3340 Weather Center on Tide 100.9. It's 37 degrees in Tuscaloosa.
Two-time state champion and two-time NIT champion Barry Sanderson breaks down the latest in sports on Inside the Locker Room on Tide 100.9.
Welcome back.
Barry.
Yes, sir.
Barry, you go and tell our listeners, because I know you're henpecked, what you're buying Jenny at Black Friday.
I'm gonna order it. I don't know. Jenny, what do you need? She don't need nothing. I don't know what I'm gonna get her. You got any suggestions?
No. I thought you'd know what you.
No, I'm not going Black Friday. It's packed out there. I'm not gonna do that. I don't know what you can get. Nobody can call and tell me what's so special about Black Friday. All right, here's the real question. You obviously said Alabama's going to win. Are they going to cover the 11.5, or people could maybe parlay that with the blue plate?
I didn't say that. But
I'm asking you.
Yeah.
They are?
Yeah.
They're going to cover the 11.5.
Yeah.
Chase, you believe that?
Yeah, I believe that. I think they'll do it.
Is Mississippi State going to cover the plus 26 that they get today against Lane Kiffin?
No.
They're not?
No. Are you talking about Ole Miss or Mississippi State?
Mississippi State's getting 26. Is Ole Miss going to beat them by more than 20?
Mississippi State needs 46.
It's going to be abysmal. I promise you. If you don't like Mississippi State, watch this game because it's going to be bad.
So they're going to roll them.
Yes.
All right. They got to impress the committee, right? Now, Gary is down at Innisfree. It's not open. I never have understood this. He's down there, and he'll say, well, I mean, they got the chairs on the table. Who's going to go somewhere just to hang out with Gary? If you want to come in there and just hang out, like, huh?
Well, I gotta mention Mavis Tires because they saved my life.
Okay, go ahead.
949-4314. Mavis Tires over here at Tennessee Park, 280. Go by there and tell them that Wimp told you to come by.
All right, there's a Mavis Tire by my house. All right, we're out of here. That's it for this week. The Iron Bowl is, about 30 hours away or something like that? I don't know. I can't do the math. But Gary's out at Innisfree. If you guys want to go out there and just, you can't get nothing to eat or drink, but you can go out there and hang out with Gary. Whatever. All right, go out there. Chase, you going out there?
I'm going to stay here.
You're going to stay there, yeah. All right, get him on the phone. Get him. Gary will be fired up, ready to go. So Gary always says Alabama kills Auburn in Tuscaloosa. So I'm sure he doesn't think this will be a contest either. I don't know what Alabama's going to show up, so I'm not giving a prediction. You're just a Tide 100.9, 1230 AM WTBC. It's the home of Alabama sports.